Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Well, today I am thrilled and excited because we have an extraordinary guest with us today, Dr. Edith Gibson. With over 20 years of entrepreneurial experience, she's built multiple successful businesses now worth millions of dollars. Dr. Edith Gibson combines her expertise and sharp business sense to create innovative skincare solutions. As a single mother of two, she has mastered balancing family and business. Today, she shares her inspiring story and gives valuable advice to parents dreaming of becoming entrepreneurs. So let's not waste any more time. Without further ado, Dr. Edith. So I want to ask you a question. What advice, because I know you're an entrepreneur, you're a successful entrepreneur, you're a mother of two, you're a single mom, and you have it all, right? So
they say.
Well, so I say, but, factually, this is factual. So my question is, what advice would you give to other mums or dads or parents who want to be entrepreneurs, who want to get into this entrepreneur journey, who want to start this entrepreneur journey? Because just holding down a job as a parent, or as a mom or a dad, or as a single mom is hard. There isn't that flexibility, or maybe it's just not enough money to support with, the inflation that's going on at the moment. What advice would you give to someone who wants to get on this entrepreneur journey? What are the things that you know now that you wish you knew then that could have made the journey faster for you?
Okay, well, that's an interesting question. It's really, it's broad. I'm going to try my best to kind of narrow it down and put it into perspective so it's easier, to understand. So I'm going to just talk about myself for a little bit. I have been an entrepreneur all of my life. Okay, and there are things that I have now learned from talking to other people who started off as employees and then branched off into entrepreneurship. And I'm also learning from their story when I make those comparisons to mine. And someone who has always been an entrepreneur is very different from someone who branches off to become an entrepreneur because of one reason or the other.
Right.
Maybe because now you have children and you can't really go back to work, but then you want to put some food on the table, you want to make that bread, or
maybe just the extra income as well.
Right. Or maybe it's your dream and you've always wanted to do it, and then now you have the chance because you have babies and you can't legitimately go back to work. So then you choose to say, okay, you know what, let me go ahead and maybe try that dream.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? But it's different for someone like me who from the start I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and I went for it and I grew with the process.
Right.
Now, what I've learned from people who have jumped into entrepreneurship after becoming employees or building careers is they talk about how difficult it is to make that change.
Right.
Because they have built a structure and a system. And this is like a mental construct on a very deep level.
Right.
Where it's like, it's difficult to detach from getting that stability of a monthly salary.
Right.
Or the consistency of a monthly salary. And I didn't have to go through that because I never had that.
So you've never had a job in your entire life?
I've never worked a job all my life, yes.
Wow.
So I didn't have to go through those hurdles because
you don't know any other way.
I don't know any other way.
Yeah, right.
All I know is doing my own thing. From the time I got out of school, I opened up, before I even got out of school, I opened up a spa. And of course, I'm in the beauty space.
Yeah.
I opened up a spa. By the time I graduated, I had another spa. And then, I put both spas on the market, went to Africa, opened up spas, and then I opened up a training institute, and then, the rest is history. So that has just always been me. I have this mental construct to, depend on what, I'm putting out there in the universe with my craft. Right. But now, coming from, another perspective of someone who, has worked all of their lives, can depend on a monthly salary, and suddenly, because their situations change, or because now they got married, they have children, and they're at home with the babies, but they feel like they have some time in their hands, and it's time to kind of jump into starting something.
Right.
It's not just the idea, coming up with an idea, or the usual things we can talk about, like, okay, if you want to start a business, you want to think about what you love, you want to think about, we're going to talk about that. However, I want to start from just making that jump.
Right.
That's where it is. So I would say, when you have those children at home, that is a time for you to draw from your supernaturalness. And I'm going to explain what that means. When you see those children playing around, looking like you, maybe talking like you, sounding like you, see some expressions of whether you or your partner in them, that is miracle in itself.
Right.
And that is what you have created. There is no business.
I never looked at it like that. Oh my God.
There is no business. There is no idea that you're going to create that is going to be bigger than that. So if you have capacity to reproduce another human being, another greatness, yourself, okay, just by the essence of it, where it's like, okay, you know, I laid down with somebody, I got pregnant, I carried this baby for 9 months in my womb, and then I had them. It means there's miracle inside of you that you don't even understand. So if you can birth that, you can birth anything.
Wow.
That's the first way. You kind of start there, because you have to overcome the mental construct. You have to think bigger, because you're only going to put out what you believe. So it starts here. Before we even dive into, you know, the other things, okay, it has to start there.
Right.
You're like, listen, I am a creator. This is what I created. And I'm talking about babies because we are talking about mothers.
Correct.
Now want to go back to work, or fathers, or who wants.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm staying in that context of, you have proof in your hands that you can create
a miracle.
And that is enough motivation for you to say, hey, what do I want to create? What do I want to put in the universe? What mark do I want to put? You know, I have a skincare line called Escape by Edith Gibson, and I always say it, this is my firstborn brainchild, because I see it that way. Eden is my firstborn son, biologically. But you know, my firstborn brainchild is Escape. And it's kind of like the same thing, because I created that and I put that in the universe, and it's there to stay. Now, you don't want to create dead babies. You don't want to create just anything. Give it the time. Let it stay in the incubator. Just like you got pregnant and the baby stayed there, and you nurtured that baby and gave birth to that baby. That is how you want to look at whatever it is that you're going to create and put in the universe. And if you do it that way and give it that kind of seriousness where you nurse it and birth it, it's going to stay. You've got to look at it like that. Now, let's talk about, how do you nurse it? How does it stay in the womb? And then, you know, what's the womb? What's the womb is the brain, is the mind, is the idea, is a conceptual.
Wow. You are taking this from a completely different perspective. This is not even the answers that I expected to hear today.
Right.
And it's so inspiring.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, staying in the mind, right? This is
it starts here.
It starts there.
Yeah.
Where it's and right there. It's not just what you're calculating with your intelligence. You know what I mean? It's kind of like how, of course, the Bible says you are you're a product of your mind, of your thoughts. You know what I mean? It's there in the book of Romans. You know what I mean? So now let's talk about the practical stuff. Where I think you wanted me to go.
Yeah. What I've just heard now, without the foundation, everything else is. It's just facts.
It's just rules and regulations.
Yeah, it's
you're
just
gonna follow it or not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and that's where you easily give up when
Yes.
things don't go the way you want without this foundation.
Right. So now I'm just gonna put it out there. So it's just, you know, it's easy. You know, you can take down notes, reminders on your notepads or whatever. It's 3 things. There is what you love to do. There is what you can do. You're able to do. Okay, and what you love, what is possible. Okay, because what you love to do could be impossible at the time. You know what I mean? You could love things, but they're just not possible right now.
Right now, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then there's what you love to do. And you have to make the difference between I love to do this and I can do this.
Right. Okay.
I love to do it and I can do it, and it's not impossible to do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when you can find a balance, find what you love, find what you
can do.
And what you can do has to do with everything, whether it's capital requirements to I don't know, availability, time requirements. Can you do it while the kids are asleep? All of that. Can I do it? You know what I mean? And what is not possible.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So once you can find a balance, then maybe we're getting somewhere. I love it. It's possible for me to do it. Yes, I can raise the funds. Yes, I can talk about it.
Right.
Yes, I can be just like, yes, I can put a channel together. Yes, I can teach people how to, I don't know, do social media marketing. Yes, I can do it while the kids are sleeping. I can do this. I can do that. You got to think about it. And I love to do it because
right.
You
have to like
if
it.
If you don't like to do it, it's not going to be sustainable. And this is what I call the incubation period. Just like
right.
in the womb.
Right.
So you're building all of that because when you give birth, you don't want to give, you don't want it to be a stillbirth, and you don't want an abortion, and you don't want the child to die.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? So I would rather you take out the time to nurture this and be certain that when you birth it, it is sustainable.
Right. I just thought about something because I recently started publishing children's books on Amazon, and I didn't know how to do it, but it's something that I've always loved to do. And so because I loved it, but I didn't know how, I acquired the skills because I felt like, yeah, I can learn this.
Yes.
Right. So I think also the fact that you don't know how to do something shouldn't deter you from it if it's something that you can learn.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This adds even more layers to what it is.
Yeah.
The reason is you were able to dig deep and say, I love to write children's books. I can write children's books. It is not impossible.
Yeah.
Because I can learn it.
Yeah. Right.
And once you nurture that and you jump into it, you're going to stick to it. Now, okay, think of someone who, I want to be an artist, but you can't sing. you know what I mean?
Right. Get what you mean. Yeah.
Maybe you can, but you're not that good. There are no ways around it. You're not going to be you're not going to blow up.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So let's not do the impossible thing.
Correct.
Just because we love it. Because you can really love music, but you're just not good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what
it's kind of like that. Yeah.
And that's why you see a lot of people flirting around with different things. Today, I'm trying to do, okay, I just want to do my own thing. I want to go there. And the worst thing you can do is see someone thriving in something and decide to do it because
to jump into it.
It is a good idea.
Right.
Don't do that. Do you? I've seen people jump into all kinds of ideas because, you know, they see people making a lot of money. I remember one time, when the real estate market was like thriving and throbbing, you know, and everybody knows, like, if you invest money in real estate, it's safe and all of that. But not everybody is really cut out
to do that. Or passionate about it.
Or even passionate about it. There are people who are genuinely passionate about putting other people in homes. And it makes them happy. You got to be happy about what it is you want to do first, and then check out the possibilities. Can I do it? Is it impossible for me to do it? And be realistic. The moment you spend the time, mom, dad, whoever you are, I'm talking to you right now, take out the time to get pregnant first and let the baby grow. So when you birth it, it's not going to be eliminated before it even thrives in this world, because whatever you're putting out there is a child, it's a brainchild.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Edith. Like, this is mind-blowing for me and very inspirational. I'm very thankful that you took out the time to do this interview and to share some of these tips. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much for having us. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please make sure you do. Until
That's right.
Bye.